Today we're going to be looking at the Influencer, an ultra-compact from the company Leclerc, which is a relative newcomer to the market with only a handful of models, all of which seeming to be more or less variations on the same general chassis design, though from the volume of requests we've received, the Influencer itself does seem to be the one that's generated the most buzz. So let's jump into it then, checking out the Influencer from top to bottom, and going over the model's advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance, and mechanics. And starting out with some stats, the Influencer clocks in at 6.6 kilos and folds down to 56 by 24 by 47 centimeters, fitting within the IATA's guidelines for cabin luggage as long as you remove the rear wheels. The model can take 22 kilos in the seat and 3 kilos in its underslung shopping basket. When it comes to the seat, the Influencer has very generous proportions for an ultra-compact, with a width of 33 centimeters and a total length of 114, judged by adding together the lengths of the leg rest, baseboard, backboard, and space beneath the canopy, and where it's worth pointing out that the depth of the baseboard and length of the leg rest, two crucial dimensions that are often undersized on ultra-compacts, are built bigger than average here, accommodating extended use of the adjustable leg rest beyond that provided by most competing models. The seat is adjustable across 3 positions, with both a deep, near-full recline and a comfortably upright position, and employs mechanisms for positional adjustment that are constructed in a sturdier-than-average manner. As far as the textiles go, the Influencer has somewhat wear-resistant fabrics that are acceptably padded, and, despite sitting quite high off the seat back, the canopy provides decent sun coverage and is even extendable, though it would have been nice if they'd added a flap to cover the netting of the extension section. As far as parent comfort and ease of use are concerned, the Influencer's handle is fixed at a height of 100 centimeters, which is not too short, but not the highest either, and may be a little unpleasant for taller parents. As with most ultra-compacts, the shopping basket is on the small side, though it's at least easy enough to access, being open and unencumbered by additional crossbars on the back end. When it comes to folding, the Influencer's fold is one of its main selling features, involving a single, handle-located action to essentially set a process in motion whereby the stroller folds itself. We've reviewed a few of these so-called self-folding strollers at this point, and, though I'll go into the actual mechanics of the process more in a moment, it's worth pointing out here that the Influencer utilizes a minimum of complicated mechanisms for pulling off the trick, making the chassis feel sturdier when folding and unfolding than comparable models. Once folded, the Influencer is both light and small for packing and carrying, and while it doesn't have a shoulder strap, the bumper bar has been positioned to use as a handle. When it comes to the general feeling of using the Influencer, all of the activation mechanisms are easy and intuitive, and the chassis feels solid and robust, a result of being constructed with thicker than average bars, sturdy connection points, and reinforced hinges. In terms of driving, as an ultra-compact, the Influencer will naturally struggle over bumpier terrain, though the sturdy build and 4-wheel suspension do at least mean that the model can handle broken sidewalks, lawn, and other lighter rough conditions, rather than being one of those ultra-compacts more or less confined to use in malls and the like. Alright, let's move on to the mechanics of the Influencer then, starting off with the folding setup and the overall structure of the chassis, where the model folds down via a 2-stage process, whereby the handle release mechanisms unlock a hinge point halfway down the handle arms, and, as the handle descends, internal wires retract a pair of pegs, that you can see here, from their anchoring holes, allowing for the completion of the fold. And while folding setups like this usually require a great complexity of often fragile components, prone to breaking or falling out of alignment, the Influencer has been built quite minimalistically in this respect, and has both a larger and more reinforced than average upper hinged point for the first stage of the process, while also using only metal components for the actual locking points in the second. Further protecting the folding system from potential problems is the fact that all the bars are both thick and are long, curved or welded singular pieces, providing significantly better structural reinforcement than the oft-used cheaper route of just riveting together many smaller elements. And combined with the use of good riveting and screws in its connection points, and a redundancy of strong bars for horizontal support, the Influencer has been built to be well protected from loosening, getting rickety, or running into the same sort of symmetry problems that often plague models of this type. That being said, the more substantial internal components of the fold could still use a little regular maintenance in the form of lubrication in my opinion, to keep them functioning smoothly, but beyond this, I don't foresee the potential for any real chassis failures as a result of regular use. Moving on down to the rear frame, the Influencer has decent suspension mechanisms and standard-sized wheels for an ultra-compact, and the brake system is rotation-based, which is preferable to wire-based systems, being both simpler and a little more robust. As far as the wheels are concerned, they're solidly constructed with regards to how the axles and ball bearings are put together, and the rubberized foam of the tires is decently wear-resistant. The wheels do sit a little looser in the rear frame than I'd like, but they're not as bad as I've seen on some models, and are unlikely to loosen much more or suffer from bent axles, provided that the stroller isn't overloaded past its weight limit. Looking lastly at the front frame, the Influencer again has some suspension and standard-sized wheels for a model of its type, though it doesn't have swivel locks, which is fine in my opinion, as you shouldn't be using the model over ground where you would need to lock the wheels anyway. As far as how the wheels fit into the frame goes, the Influencer has quite a tight connection, due both to the use of long shafts with high locking points and also as a result of ball bearings that sit flush on the axles, a setup that I've always found to be something of a double-edged sword, in that, while this creates a tight swivel, it also necessitates regular lubrication, since the bearings will wear down over time, and it's important to keep the axles from rusting within them, so that they can be replaced if necessary. So, should you consider getting the Leclerc Influencer? Yes, absolutely. This is one that I was pleasantly surprised with, offering a sturdy build, capable of folding down to within cabin luggage limits, having a great one-hand, one-step fold without being overly complex, and offering one of the best proportioned and fully featured seats on the market. On top of this, at least as it's sold here, the model came with a lot of kit for the price, a travel bag, rain cover, bumper bar and cup holder, all included with purchase. And while it's impossible to rule out the possibility of unforeseen problems emerging down the line, since the model is so new, my general evaluation is that the Influencer is a strong and legitimately good product, deserving of a place at the upper end of the market. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you are currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.